Rite Aid is allegedly filing for bankruptcy. Now, what you see at the bottom of the screen, you said, who is this handsome man? Who is this handsome man? Let me put back on my other hat. Because we got to talk about the money. We're not holding nobody accountable right now. Who is this handsome man? Y'all don't know who this person is? That is not a handsome man. That is not a handsome man. That is Elizabeth Burr. Elizabeth Burr is the CEO, Chief Executive Officer, the interim officer, but has been holding down the role for an extended period of time, who has extensive healthcare experience and retail industries and deep expertise in innovation, business strategy, and brand management. That is a woman. That is a woman. Shout out to my dog over there, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Is that who his name is? That is my dog, Elizabeth Burr. Elizabeth Burr is the CEO of Rite Aid, but Rite Aid is allegedly trending towards and looking to file for bankruptcy. All right? So make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let's mine this out really quickly because we got to get to the money.
Rite Aid shares, they are in focus this morning. They're slipping as the company reportedly plans to file for bankruptcy as it faces several lawsuits over the chain's alleged role in the sale of opioids.
Looks like Rite Aid, much like other corporations that want to skirt financial liabilities following lawsuits, is looking to file for bankruptcy to possibly minimize their financial burdens after their alleged role in the opioid epidemic. Now, they are planning on filing for Chapter 11 bankruptcy for the second time. And that filing would cover Rite Aid's more than $3.3 billion debt load and pending legal allegations that it oversupplied prescription painkillers. So
it's more to the story and more than meets the eye. There's more to the story, right? With regard to this whole Rite Aid bankruptcy debacle, impending bankruptcy, because they have not filed yet, but the shareholders are running amok, right? They have filed for bankruptcy before, but one of the reasons why they're looking to file for bankruptcy is in order to discharge the debt and also to get themselves out of the obligations that would come along with allegedly playing a role in the opioid crisis and overprescribing, because it was paying for profit, overprescribing opioids over into different people and patients and industries as a part of that bankruptcy filing. They're trying to dismiss that and get that from out of their hands. All right, let's continue.
The Wall Street Journal reported on this, writing that Rite Aid faces more than 1,000 federal lawsuits that were consolidated into a multi-district litigation in Ohio. The company also faces a significant number of similar cases pending in state courts that allege it contributed to the opioid epidemic, as well as a civil lawsuit by the Justice Department that alleges the company dispensed controlled substances in violation of the False Claims Act and Controlled Substances Act. But what's up with this connection between the bankruptcy and skirting financial responsibility and liabilities related to these lawsuits? Well, unsecured claims rank behind a company's collateralized debt in bankruptcy and share in the amounts left over after secured claims are paid in full. The terms offered to Rite Aid's opioid-related claimants in a potential Chapter 11 could change, meaning the amount of money that they need to pay to the plaintiffs should they lose these lawsuits could be different, meaning it could be minimized as a result.
So basically what they're saying is that we are a company that holds debt. We are also in a position to where we've basically become insolvent based off of litigation, expenses. We have a pharmacy, but it's not bringing in enough in order to be able to substantiate us operating above board when it comes to profitability for the shareholders and so on and so forth. And so what they're basically saying in layman's terms, in street terms, in C-student terms, is they're saying that our debts, or the debt that would come as a result of these lawsuits, if we was to lose, would come behind the debt that is owed from the secured claims or the secured debt that comes along with all of the other monies that we owe to our vendors and whoever it is that we hold debt from. So the company itself would then minimize the amount of money, all right? Basically, the people that are suing them, the Justice Department or whatever, they wasting their time because they're not going to be able to make any money as a result of that falling behind. So unsecured claims is basically saying any lawsuit that's not secured by something that we're loaned money from in order to put up money to get is going to fall behind everything else that we owe all of our other creditors, and so you're not going to necessarily be able to get nothing from it. Bankruptcy is a tool for large companies often at times to then continue the operation of the company while minimizing the amount of money that they have to pay out to whoever it is that they may owe money to. Let me say that one more time. Bankruptcy is a tool. If they have debt, secured debt as a result, and then owing different people or different banks or different entities or different organizations that have loaned them money or they have debt in which they have to pay interest payments on, so on and so forth, any litigation comes behind that, which also makes the bankruptcy worth it in the eyes of the company. And then they would have to obviously reorganize and shut down stores or shut down the company itself. And then nobody gets paid a dime as a result of it. That's basically what they're saying, okay?
Could change, meaning the amount of money that they need to pay to the plaintiffs should they lose these lawsuits could be different, meaning it could be minimized as a result of this Chapter 11 bankruptcy. So Cenk, there's a lot of fancy wording in there. Break it down a little further for us.
Yeah, so Rite Aid's case is a little bit more complicated because at this point they actually are losing money. So when you're losing money and you really have run out, for example, they haven't, they're still are capitalized enough to continue for sure. But there does come a point when you have a real bankruptcy and there's nothing you could do about it, okay? But what is happening, especially with these opioid lawsuits, is that a lot of the companies are doing the same thing, and a lot of them are nowhere near losing money. They have tons of profit, but they're thinking of declaring bankruptcy anyway. Why? Why would you do that? Because in a bankruptcy, secured debts or obligations get paid first.
Yep.
So whatever money you have, if you borrowed money from a bank, for example, you got to pay that back first. Anything where they
before you ever get over into a lawsuit, all right? So that's basically what it is, right? Rite Aid is in trouble. Rite Aid is completely insolvent in that they're going to run out of money before, all of their obligations and their debt and so on and so forth. And then you throw those lawsuits on top of it, then the company is just absolutely going to go in the toilet. I don't know whether or not they're going to reorganize to the point to where they stay open. I can't see it. I'm not really sure that you can make a case for it. But if they do reorganize and they're going to be a much smaller company, I think that they need another different leadership. You can't have an interim CEO, such as the woman that is down at the bottom, Elizabeth Burr, continuing to run this company into the ground. And I think that the writing has been on the wall for Rite Aid, especially in competition with all of these other, the CVS's and the Walgreens and so on and so forth. The writing has been on the wall for a long time.